Hello, good evening. My name is Annie Joseph, and today I will be doing my presentation on organic food and is it healthy. So to begin, I'm going to start with slide number 2, and basically we want to know what is organic food. So what does it mean by that? So basically, organic food is the good stuff. Organic food is the stuff that a lot of people believe is the healthiest food and the healthiest choice to choose. But in definition, organic food basically is the way farmers grow and process agriculture product such as fruits, vegetable, dairy product, grains, and meat. Now, before food could be considered an organic food, they must pass certain standards and certain guidelines that the USDA has provided for them. And once they pass these certain guidelines, then they will be considered organic. And also, overall, organic farming practice is a way to encourage soil and water conservation and also reduce pollution. Now, what is conventional? Well, conventional is the opposite of organic food, basically. It's the fattening stuff. It's the stuff that everybody likes, the cheapest stuff, the stuff that people like to go to. So, by definition, it is food that is produced following a standard model. It uses scientific and technological developments to grow edible products, such as it uses machineries, it uses fertilizers, and it uses things that makes the food more quicker to grow and more quicker to process than organic food. Also, it produces large quantity. As I was saying, it produces large quantity at the lowest possible price. So when you're doing organic food, it's definitely going to be more. It's going to take more work and more quality to produce it than conventional food. We're going on to move on to slide number 4, and on this slide we're going to talk about advantages of organic food. So the advantage of organic food is that it uses this usage of natural fertilizer, usage of crop rotation. Now, crop rotation is where that every year they don't grow their crops in the same field. So one year the corn will be grown on the south, the carrots could be grown on the west, the onions could be grown on the east, but it's never going to be placed or grown on the same one. Basically, that is crop rotation, and that's an advantage for them because it helps with soil. It's help with soil-borne disease and helps to get rid of insects. Also, it uses fewer pesticides. It food is often fresher, and the organic livestock must have access to outdoor and may not be given antibiotics. So basically, the cows, the pigs, they are not staying within a cage. They are actually able to go out and they're able to, roam the free land, as they would like to call it there. Also, it's rich in I apologize for my pronunciation, but it's rich in antioxidants and also it's more nutrition than conventional food. Now I'm going to move on to slide number 5, and I will talk about the disadvantage of organic food. So basically, their disadvantage is that they're costly. They cost more. When you go to the store, you will definitely be able to see the different prices in comparison to the organic food and to the conventional food. Also, it spoils faster because that they don't put pesticides in it, because they don't put antioxidant in it. Then it's able to spoil faster than the regular conventional food, who has all these added ingredients that makes it fresher, which preserve it longer than organic food. Also, the use of manure to fertilize it. People might think it's nasty, but and it is, but that's one of the disadvantages. That's what they use to fertilize their crops. They use manures. Also, some produce will look less than perfect, of course, because they are not grown the same way. It did not have those added ingredients. Then their shape is not going to really be the shape that we're used to seeing. Also, farmer workers suffer from a lot of chemical-related injuries and illness. These are just some of the disadvantages of organic food. Next, I will go to slide number 6, and in slide number 6, we will talk about the advantage of conventional food. So one of the good thing about conventional food is that it's affordable. So when you go to the market, you will definitely be able to see the price difference between the conventional food and the organic food. Also, it's easy to access. It's easy to get to. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Publix, you can go to Winn-Dixie, and it's easy for you to get this food. As if for organic food, you have to like travel or go to specific whole stores or go to specific local markets in order to get the organic food that you crave. Also, it have financial benefit within the community. Buying produce from local, its advantages that it's easy to go buy produce from local farmers. Its usage of synthetic pesticides, also usage of food additive, and also usage of genetically modified organism (GMO). And these are all the stuff that helps to preserve the conventional food, which helps to make it last longer than the organic food, which we spoke about earlier, being less disadvantage. Next, I will move to slide number 7. And in slide number 7, we'll talk about the disadvantage of the conventional food. So, disadvantage of it is that it has less nutrition, and the reason for that is because it's giving steroids, giving hormones, which makes the fruit grow faster and makes it so once it's grown to a specific size, it's cut off from its roots. Even though it's not really getting its full nutrition because it grew faster than it at its normal pace, it still has to be cut off, and that is why we lose our nutrition. Also, insecticides are used to manage pests and disease. Weeds are controlled with chemical herbicides, and livestock may not be given access to outdoors. So, like the cows and the pigs, like in the organic, they're able to roam out on the farmland. But in conventional food, they're really kept in a room or kept in a crate in a cave where they can't really see sun and they can't see the outside air. So that's the disadvantage of conventional food. Next, I will move to slide number 8, and I will just talk about the 411 on organic food. So basically, organic product is considered organic on how the agriculture product was grown and handled before it reached the consumer. Also, organic food maintains food organic status by separating it from synthetic and other prohibited materials by carefully tracking the ingredients being added and using record keeping to keep track of all process being done. And lastly, organic and non-organic products may be produced in the same facility. This is known as split operation. I thought that was cool because I thought that organic had to grow with organics and that conventional grow in the conventional factory. But there are some factories in where it's okay to grow these two produce together, as long as as it said, you have a record keeping processes of what are you doing with this, what are you doing with that, to make sure that organic is still being treated as organic and conventional food is still being treated as conventional food. So that's just a few 411 that I thought was cool to know. Next, I will move on to slide number 9, and there I will talk about organic processing. So basically, the how the processing work. So organic food means that, exactly like we said before, it must meet certain standards that the USDA has put in place for it to be considered organic food. Now, the ingredients that is used must be organic. The process that is being done, the cleaning that is being done, the storage that is being done, everything must follow the list that the USDA had put into place, so that way they can be considered organic food. So that way we can make sure that when we sell it to consumers, when we're selling these food to products, that indeed they are organic food and we're not just selling them anything. Also, we have to make sure we also put them in containers and label them to make sure we're not, once again, contaminating them with anything else but what is needed to be considered the organic food. Next, I will go on to slide number 10. And in slide number 10, the next couple of slides is basically me saying the differences or like the similarities of the conventional food within like 5 different products. So I'm gonna first start off with milk. Milk, when we talk about milk for inorganic, it is higher level of omega-3 fats. Also, this helps against heart attacks, and it helps against heart disease, which is good. Also, cows aren't given antibiotics, which is also a plus, which is also the difference between conventional who cows are given antibiotics and who cows are also injected with growth hormones, which makes them get bigger and produce more of the meat and more of the stuff that people eat and drink. The likeness that these two things, organic and conventional, share is that they both could be exposed to pesticide and they both could be contaminated. So basically, once after reading this, there's no real big difference between organic or conventional milk to say that it's better to choose organic or over conventional milk or conventional over organic milk. So researchers didn't show no big difference in health when it comes to milk. Next slide number 11, I would say we'll talk about the produce. Same thing, when we look at organic, we see phosphorus content is higher, fewer residues of pesticide, and they're more likely to contaminate E. coli. And then for conventional food, The thing about it is pesticides and pathogens, and when we do comparing those two, we have basically to they're just saying that if you cook the food, you'll be able to reduce your risk of getting anything, getting these E. coli, getting these diseases. As long as you cook your food throughoutly, there's no main difference against with nutrition in picking either organic produce or or conventional food. As long as you, they're saying as long as you cook the food throughoutly, then you process them good, then you'll be good to go. Next is slide number 12. I will talk about the meat. And once again, when we look at organic meat, they're higher, they have high level of omega-3, and they're more likely to be contaminated because they don't use antibiotics. So they're more likely to be contaminated with E. coli once again. And then when we look at conventional food, they have lower level of omega-3 because the animals eat green, and they don't eat the grassy food that is outside like the organic livestock does. And also they can be contaminated, likely to be contaminated with antibiotic resistant. And when we compare the two alike similarities, we find that contamination risk is low, and that adequate cooking, once again, in meat will help to reduce the risk of any disease or sickness. So once again, no big difference in choosing which organic or conventional, as long as we do adequate cooking, we cook our food right, we clean it right, we scrub it down right, we wash it right, we should be good to go. And then lastly, in slide number 13, we have egg and fish when we're doing comparison. And basically, when it comes down to fish, USDA don't have no specific guidelines to say that for the fish you must do this, you must do that, and it will be considered organic fish. There's no set of guidelines for it. But in Canada, they do have some set of guidelines that they must follow to be considered organic food. Now, when it comes to egg, for us, there's no really big difference. Again, it was really smart research showing that it's any big difference between choosing organic or conventional eggs. So when it comes to egg, you may choose either or. That's what research has shown. Next up, I will go to slide number 14. Slide number 14 talks about basically it's a table showing the common fruits and vegetables that people usually like. So it's each table shows, like the first table talks about preferably organic food. So basically, this is the food that they're saying that if you would like to, if you can, that you should buy this food organic. So it's food such as apples, strawberries, spinach, grapes, potatoes, blueberries. They're saying that if you're able to have the money, buy this food instead, organic, and buy it organic, not conventional, but buy it organic. In the next table, it shows if your budget allow it, then you can buy green beans, buy orange, buy tangerines, buy banana, buy cranberries. So this is not 100% good way to go to organic, but if you can buy it organic, then go for it. And the last column we have is your call, least contaminated. So for this one, it doesn't matter. These food are less contaminated. The onions, the sweet corn, the pineapples, the avocados, the eggplant. So for these food, you don't have to get it organic. It's fine if you just leave it as conventional. So this is just a little table. If you want to see which food are organic and you should get it, you can look at it. If you want to see which one, it really doesn't matter, you can look at it. And I really do believe in this table, actually. Next up, I will talk about, I will go to slide number 15, and this is my opinion. So basically, after doing all of this research, after doing the reading and looking online and gathering information, I don't really see there's a big difference between choosing organic or conventional food. I do not think that organic is more healthier than conventional food. I do think that it's a good choice to choose over conventional. It'll be a better choice for you, but it's not a significant change in your diet or significant change that says that, okay, with this food, with this organic food, my health will be better and everything will be better. That's not the real case. So basically, the real case is just being prepared, like eating the right food, like eating different type of food, cooking your food throughoutly, just doing varieties, and it will help you a lot. The next slide, like 16, I'm gonna move to right now. It gives you some food safety tips. Like I said, you select certain variety of food from different sources. So don't just stick to one market or stick to one store. Go to different stores and buy grapes in Publix today, and then buy grapes in Walmart next week. Try different food produce places, and it could help you with that. Also, Buy fruits and vegetables in their season. For certain season, it's the best time to buy grapes. It's for certain season, it's the best time to buy mangoes. Certain season is the best time to buy watermelon. So when you know which season is best, then that's when you should go out and buy those vegetables and go out and buy those fruits. Doesn't necessarily have to be organic or conventional. As long as you know when it's the best time for their season, then it's good to go ahead and purchase that. Next, read the labels carefully, of course. If you go out, when you're buying something, just read the labels carefully. Know what is organic, know what is conventional, know how much of this is put in, know how much of that is put in, and you will be fine. And lastly, wash and scrub fruits and vegetable under running water. So you have your food, just scrub it down, wash it, and then you will be good to go. So basically, that's my PowerPoint. The next two slides are basically my references. If you want to go and see more about it or see where I got my information from, my slide 17 and slide 18 shows you where I got my information on organic food and is it healthier. And once again, I don't think it's a really big difference of the food. I just think as long as you select your food carefully, you try different varieties within the food, you'll be good to go. So thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you like it, and of course, if you have any questions, just please reach out to me. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good night.